Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Alison. I am known as the Dotty Daisy here on YouTube and also over on Instagram. And today I'm doing take 2 of Floss Tube number 1, where I'm going to do a WIP parade of all of my cross stitch and some embroidery. And I've also got a couple of FFOs that I'm going to show you as well. And I'm going to try and make it as short and sweet as I can. And let's just get started. So a bit about me. As I said, my name is Alison. I live in Maryborough, which is in country Victoria. I have a lovely husband whose name is Alex. I have 2 beautiful daughters, Emma, who's 20, and Elizabeth, who is 19. I have 2 gorgeous dash hounds. They're a bit silly, but they're gorgeous, and their names are George and Mildred. And I have a beautiful cat. His name is Norman. And then we have chickens. And I don't know how many we have. I've tried to learn chicken math, but I believe it runs along the line, the same lines as cross-stitch pattern math. So we have chickens and we have cross-stitch patterns, and I don't complain about the amount of chickens. My husband doesn't complain about the amount of cross-stitch patterns, and we're both really happy with that. Okay, so first of all, I'm just going to do my FFOs. So I did start cross-stitching again. I have done cross-stitch on and off my whole life. But I started cross-stitch again maybe in 2024, maybe a bit earlier, where I kept seeing ads from Elise at Spruce Craft Co. So finally, after seeing some really different patterns, shall we say, they weren't what I'd seen before, which is probably why I'd stopped cross-stitching, because I was a bit over cross-stitching, I think rabbits, well, not so much rabbits, but teddy bears and I don't know, just oldie worldy type cross-stitch, and I wanted something a little bit different. Well, Elise showed me something a little bit different. And then one day I was reading her one of her emails, and she mentioned something about a floss tube. So I went over and had a look at that, and I was like, oh wow, and here I am. So thank you, Elise. I think okay. But the first cross stitch that I've got fully finished is called the No Drama Llama. So this came as a kit. Beautiful big coloured pattern. Came with the hoop, the threads, every little thing that I would need. And this is my No Drama Llama, which was quick and easy, and I really like it. And I've just finished that. This is the hoop that came in the kit, and I've just put some ribbon around the edge there. So that was one of my very first finishes and fully finishes. The next one I've got from Elise is called the Combi. Everyone loves a good combi van, don't they? And I just liked the colour of the combi van. I'm very much a teal, turquoise, that sort of bluey green colour is my vibe. So that's my combi. And again, that's just another finish in the kit hoop with some ribbon around that. My next finish, or fully finished, is an embroidery from a Craft Make Do, and it is called Bees in Honeycomb. So again, this was a kit, came with the hoop, the pattern, the cottons, the threads, everything that I needed. And I came home from work one night and went, I'm going to do that, and I did. And I went to bed, and the stitching was finished. So really happy with that. I just think it's really gorgeous. And again, just a bit of ribbon around the hoop, because that was how I thought you finished I didn't know any other way. And the last one I've got, I don't have the actual, don't have the packet anymore. I think I put them all into the bees one, but it's from Craft Make Do Again, and it's called Electric Jellyfish, and that was the pattern. And this is my finish. I just loved the colours. I would probably do it again. Maybe not. There's a lot of satin stitch, and I'm not a very big fan of a satin stitch. I love French knots, which is probably what convinced me to do it, because I do love a good French knot. But I'm really not a fan of a satin stitch. But anyway, they're done. And again, just in a hoop with some ribbon around it, because I think they look quite effective like that. So I've got another couple of embroideries, and the first one is the very first one that I did, and I did not leave myself any margin at all for any finishing of any variety. I'm not quite sure what I was doing. I don't think I knew what I was doing, but this one's called Daisy Field by Doodle and Stitch, and I got that off Etsy, and it came as a pattern, and then I just had to purchase the fabric and the DMCs, and I don't think I chose well with the fabric. DMCs are the actual called for ones. I do like it. I think it's a bit cute, and it's called Daisy Field. You might have worked out that I do like a daisy, and I'm not quite sure how I'm going to finish it. I know I have to iron it and I have to spray it because it's got the water erasable pen that I use to trace the pattern. But I'm really not quite sure what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to have to think about it. I think I'm going to have to, it's either going to have to go in a hoop and be like have lots and lots of lacing on the back, or it's going to have to go in a frame. I'm really not sure, not quite sure how I'm going to deal with it, but I do like it, so I do want to finish it and display it. And the last finish that I've got is called Dreamy Boho Heart Sampler by 822 Crafts. I also got that one off Etsy. Made better decisions with fabric this time, and gave myself plenty of room. This one will end up in a hoop. I did this, my mum and my husband had some surgery. I think it was last year. My husband was getting a new shoulder and my mum was getting a new knee. So there were some long days in hospital waiting rooms. And so I did that while I was, just rather than sitting around a hospital going crazy, I was doing some embroidery. So that's those. Then I've got this one final one, which I'll just borrow this to pop at the back of it. So this was one of the first projects I think that I actually bought from Elise, and I'll put a photo up of the, it's called Little Winter Shops. Needs an iron. Sorry, I haven't ironed anything. It was iron, stitch, or do floss tube. So I stitched and did some floss tube. I didn't get the iron out. The ironing board is where I've got all my WIPs, but that's a different story. So this is called Little Winter Shops. I've just started Little Christmas Shops, which you'll see shortly. And I have finished it, and I do want to put it in a frame. And there is another cross stitch called Little Summer Shops, and I'd like to get that and just do that. That sale, I think, was out ages and ages ago. But I would like to be able to put it in a frame, but interchange them. So I think they're just going to be, I'm going to flat finish them and then maybe magnetize them to the frame that I want to put them in, just so that I can take them, swap them over as each season comes around. Alrighty, so I'm just going to pop these away and then we'll jump right into the cross stitch WIPs. Okay, so I've put all of those things away and we are just going to crack straight on with some WIPs. And the first one is actually not my WIP. It's my daughter Elizabeth's. And she decided that, seeing as I was doing so much cross stitch, that she wanted to have a bit of a go as well. I've tried to teach her a couple of times and she's never really been that interested, that keen, or she gets bored, or she's not quite sure what she's doing. But apparently at 19, it's something that she thought she would do. I let her pick the pattern. I let her do all the choosing, told her I'd help her with whatever she needed. So she chose this Dimensions kit from Spotlight, which is, I don't even know, is it like a Hobby Lobby, sort of, it's a craft homewares shop in Australia, Spotlight, and that's about an hour away from us, so we're over there quite a bit. She does go to uni over there, and my mum and my husband are in Ballarat quite a bit, so I do go over with them. So this one is called, I think, Mason Jar Flowers. I think I wrote it down the other day, but I can't find it. So Mason Jar Flowers, and which has got so much counting in it. So this is where she's at the moment. So she's just got, I think, one more flower here and one up at the top, and then she'll be finished. And being at uni, they have so many breaks. She should be able to crack on with that once uni's finished this semester. She's just gone back, so but we did have quite a bit going on this year, so she didn't do a lot over the last semester break, and she was working and doing some trips over to Ballarat for my mum. So I did give her a little project bag as well for hers, and that came from Prickle and Pin, which is a lovely lady from Etsy, and she's Australian. So that's Elizabeth. So that's the first WIP. So the rest are now mine. And this is another bag from Prickle and Pin. So I got 2 bags from her because I thought I should be able to make them. And I thought if I had one that I'd know what I was doing. So it's a bit cute, and it's got a little mouse in a teacup. And they're just really lovely. And she put a couple of zipper pulls, she put some zipper pulls on those for me. Now this one, and this is my project card. The only thing I don't have on it is a start and a finish date. And I think I need that just for me, because this will all go into, when I finish a project, I'll take a bit of a snip and I'll put the project card and a photo into my, this is my Stitchy Day calendar. So this is the July. And I'm a journaler as well. So I feel like this is just combining a bit of everything. I can do my journaling with my calendar and all of that sort of thing. I'm sewing project bags, so that ticks the sewing part of my craft, and I'm cross stitching, which I think is where I've sort of like, I think I'm going to rest on that. I'm not going to start anything new. I'm not going to pick up another hobby. I'm just going to do some cross stitch because I do really enjoy it. So this project, I got this one from, it's Anko brand. Got it from Kmart. It was a dash hound, and that's why I got it. Now, I obviously got this when we only had George, and I say that because the pattern, the dog is brown, which is what Mildred is, but I've gone ahead and I've done it black. So George is a black and tan, and Mildred is just the plain tan. So I'm assuming I didn't have Mildred when I started this. I've really only got the butt and the bone to do, but you know, it's I'll get it there eventually. And the needle minder is from Jubbly. Just pop those away. So that is also one of mine. Now this next project bag came from another Etsy seller. Her name is Simply Norelle. She's also Australian. I think she's in Queensland. maybe. And in this one, I think I've also got, so I've got my project card for this one as well. And I think I've got some floss drops that I also got from Simply Norelle as well. So that's the, that's those. And this one is Stitching Quaker by Primrose Cottage. This was my very, very first trial with linen. I've never cross-stitched on linen before. I've only ever cross-stitched on Aida. It wasn't as bad as what I thought it would be. I like Aida for its ability to just take with me wherever I go. I could not stitch on linen outside of the house because I wouldn't have the proper lighting, and I wouldn't have the my magnifier. Yes, I need it for those. So this is my Stitching Quaker, and I am actually loving it. And I didn't cut the fabric until I'd actually gotten to the bottom and across to the side. So that is my Stitching Quaker, and I got this. I got the pattern, and I'm using the DMC threads for this and the fabric, and I got all of that from a Stitch in Time in Tasmania from the lovely Carolyn. And Carolyn has been very helpful. She's been lovely. I've asked lots of probably silly questions, although I am a firm believer in there's no such thing as a silly question. The only silly question is the one that you don't ask. So I have asked her what might have been really basic questions, but she's been more than happy to help me out, which is fabulous. So I'm just going to grab my board. I do have one. I'm just going to grab my board. Hang tight. Okay, so I've just grabbed my board. The next WIP that I've got is, again, it's in this really lovely project bag that I got again from Simply Norelle. I haven't quite decided, but I think I'm a vinyl front project bag girl. I've made both and I'm using both, but I think I like the vinyl front because I can just flick through and know exactly what's in it without having to read anything. I mean, I do have a card on the fabric ones. This one's got a zip pull that my mum was getting rid of a whole heap of jewellery, and she said, can you do anything with these? And I said yes. So I've made lots of ring pulls and zipper pulls and key fobs and needle minders with mum's jewellery. So this one is called Spill the Tea, and I will pop a picture in. I got the PDF of this. I joined the Caterpillar Cross Stitch Club, and you know, there was lots of benefits with that. There was a £10 gift certificate, which I used to join their social, their online social meet, and the pattern that they had chosen for that was called Spill the Tea. So I just got the PDF so that I didn't have to get everything from sent from overseas. So that's where I am on it. I'm just on the tea bit. Not a tea drinker. Knew more answers about the tea than the coffee on the quiz that we did during the social, but that was so much fun. But so I got the pattern from, I got the PDF pattern, and I got my fabric from Sew It All Australia, and it is 14 count fairy dust Aida, and I'm just using the called for DMC, and again they're on a floss drop from Simply Norelle. Again, I purchased those because I wasn't really quite sure, and I thought, can I make them? Can I? I don't know. And so I bought some to see how I would do it. And, you know, they've got the beautiful little things on, bits and pieces. So that's my spill the tea, and I can't wait to do another social with Caterpillar cross stitch. I had so much fun, and that one was one that was specifically set up to do in the Australian time zone, so that was fabulous. The next one is in a bag that was made by me, so a by me bag. And yeah, I just I need to use a thicker interface and maybe quilt on the back. I haven't done that, but they're serving the purpose. So this is just one that's made by me. And my little zipper pull there is just Cherries. And I went into Kmart, my local Kmart, and they were having a big sale on key rings. So I bought a whole heap of key rings. I think that one cost me $2.50. So you know, it wasn't an expensive purchase. But this one that's in there is called Basket of Cherries, and it's a Garden Club series, and it's the first one. It's by Blackbird Design. Now, I also got this from Carolyn at a Stitch in Time, and I got the fabric and the threads. Sorry, my light's just gone off on my phone, just threw me a little bit, but I should be able to fix that up. So the fabric that I'm using for this one is platinum cashel linen 28 count, which I also got from a Stitch in Time, and I am using the called for Gentle Arts threads. I don't think they're the called for. These are the ones that I'm using, because I do have another couple of so these are the threads for this one. There are, is there 8 or 12? I think there might be 12 of these, and I'll be doing them all, and I'm going to frame them individually, and I think I'm going to put them in our front hallway. But these are the colours. The needle minder also came from a Stitch in Time. It just says Stitch. But I also have, and they're all just in the same, they all just belong in the same bag, is I've got the second one, which is Blackbird Design. And then I've got this third, this one is number 8, and it's called The Rarest Flower. And the reason I bought that was one of the threads, and these are the threads for all 3 of them. So I just putting them together as I need them. So the reason that I ended up getting the number 8 one was one of the threads that I needed, the Gentle Arts threads from a Stitch in Time, wasn't available, and when her order came in, it didn't come in. So I sourced it from somewhere else, and I didn't think that I could let one skein of cotton travel all the way from Western Australia to Victoria on its own. So I bought another pattern, and I bought all the threads that I didn't already have, so that I would have all of the threads that I needed, because it would be lonely coming from Western Australia on your own. And I know that because I have done Western Australia to Victoria on my own, and it's a long drive. So I'm just going to try and fix my light, and I'll be back. Okay, so I'm back. I don't know what happened with the light. It just turned off, and I've just turned it back on. Now this next one is in a project bag again that I made. I just had some fabric from, it's either from my L&S in town, who's a quilting shop more than more than cross stitch, but I can go down there and get DMCs whenever I need them. And yes, the light went off again. And then just I think that was a necklace. It was a necklace pendant, but that was made by me as well. This one is this is Emma, my eldest. She just recently turned 20 at the start of this month. So this one is her birthday stitch. And it is, and I will pop a picture up, it's called the Butterfly Fairy. The designer is the Stitchy Princess, and now she's a designer in the Ukraine. And the lovely Laura at Butterfly Stitches Cotton and Clay was talking about her and had put up a post on Instagram. So I went over and went, oh, there's some lovely patterns there. I'll do my little bit. And so I picked up a couple of patterns, and then Emma decided that she would like this one. So this is where we are at the moment. I should have this finished by the end of the month. So I'm actually doing that on a 25 count even weave called Hint of Mint that I got from Sew It All Australia. I am using the cord for DMCs, and that's those. So there's only a couple. There's not a lot of colours in that one. It's quite a simple stitch, but Emma really liked it, so that's what she asked for. And the floss drops, yep, they're ones that I made. I had some of these tags from journaling, and I just thought that they would be fine. And that needle minder is one that I actually got from Clever Poppy, where I've gotten some embroidery kits from. So there's that one. Okay, so my light went a bit dodgy again, and I've got another one out, but I don't know if it's going to be too bright, and I can't actually see what I'm filming at the moment, so we'll have to wait until the end to see how that goes, won't we? So this next one that I've got is the little Christmas shop stitch along that I was talking about, that I'm doing with Spruce Craft Co. So I will pop, there's only 2 parts being released, so I'll pop those 2 parts up so that you can see what they are. And this is the one that I've done, and I haven't done any of the back stitch on this, and that's fine. I love a bit of back stitch, so it's, you know, just something I can pick up and do in front of the TV. It's meant to say Santa's Workshop here, but I think I'm going to put Lou's Workshop for our surname. So this is a kit that I got from Spruce. I'm using 14 count antique white. That's what came with it from Sew It All. The DMC threads are the called for that came with the kit. The needle minder, it does say a sociopath there on that, and I got that from Sew It All as well. So the second part came out, I think, on the 1st of August. So I've got till the end of the month to do the second one. I should be fine though. So that's coming out 1 part a month. So there'll be 6 shops. So you get 1 shop a month, and the last shop will come out on the 1st of December, and all things being equal, we should have that finished by December, by Christmas. You know, maybe, maybe not. Okay, so unbeknownst to me, my video did stop about halfway through my last lot of taping, so I'm just going to do the last couple of whips, and then I've got some embroidery and thank yous to do. I'm like, you don't know, so I don't know why I'm apologising to you. I probably should be apologising to me because I have to do it again. So this project bag I got from a D-Stash on Facebook. I've picked up some really lovely things from there, some beautiful fabrics, some lovely patterns and all those sorts of things, but I'll just show those as new starts and all of that, rather than doing a great big haul, because pretty much everything is a haul at the moment. So this one is called Neon Circus. This was a stitch along with Spruce Craft Co. Elise. I've nearly finished the tent. I've just got to do some green, and then there's the bit at the top that says Neon Circus. And again, I'll put up a picture of the finish because it has been finished for ages. The reason that I've picked this up again is I was always going to, but it was black and it was hideous. But I do have a magnifying light now, and I do have a whiteboard that I can put underneath, so I'm lit from below and above, which makes it easier. So I picked this up because Kenny Stitches on Instagram and on Floss Tube is doing the abandoned sell. So this was pretty much abandoned. So I'm doing that. I probably should have done more, but still, it's really not great to stitch. These colours, fabulous, fabulous. But these colours are the devil. Like, they're not great. The fluorescent green and yellow, they're terrible. They fray, they shred. I don't feel like I'm getting a really good tight stitch with them. All of the bad things happen with those threads, and it's black. I don't think I'll be doing a black one again. I am giving this to my nephew when I get it finished. I'd like to get it finished before he starts school next year, and then I can give it to him for that. And then I've just popped this needle minder that I picked up from Yasmins, made with love, with an order that I got not long ago. So I thought that one went with these colours really, really well. So put that over there. I'll be an expert at this by the time I'm done, because this is about the 4th time I think I've done this, except for this one. So this is a project bag that I made as well, and proof that I do need to get some stiffer interfacing, and perhaps do a bit of quilting on it just to give it a little bit of stability. But I made that one again. It was just made, like, I pick up the fat quarter packs from Spotlight, and then I don't even have to think about like matching fabrics, because they come pre-matched, and I do love that. So this project, and I started this on Thursday night. It doesn't have a project card yet. I do need to do that. But this is the Owl Forest Embroidery 100 Owls. So I've started this on Thursday, and I've wanted to do it for quite some time. I've seen quite a few people do it, and I really like it. I do like owls. My daughter loves owls. This one will get a decent frame, and I think will go up somewhere nice in the house. So I started this on Thursday. So I'll just pop that there. So it's still in the hoop because I do have this one great big nerd hoop. I'm not a big fan of it, but I think it's going to be really good for this job, for this one, because it's so big. So I've started up the top. This needle minder is a caterpillar cross stitch one, but I did get it from Sew It All. This needle minder I purchased from the Stitches in Winter Retreat. I do have the lady's name. I think I put it on Instagram, so I will have a look and I'll pop it down below, but I don't think she has any social media presence. So this is on the same as I'm doing the princess for Emma, the butterfly princess for Emma. So it's a 25 count even weave, a touch of mint from Sew It All Australia. And the threads that I'm using, I'm doing the Cottage garden thread conversion. They have a Google Doc. I think it's on their website that you can go into, and they've got a couple of conversions from DMC to their threads. There's not a lot, but I was watching one of their floss tubes, and they did say that they had done a conversion for the 100 owls, and I thought, yes, I'm going to do that. So these are just, so obviously I've only started on the first two colours, and I do love the just the pulling down, and that you can just pull one thread. I'm not going to, but you can just pull, like, separate out one thread and pull it out. You don't have to undo anything. It's brilliant. And then I've just the tags were much longer, and I've just cut them off so that they're much better floss drops. And that's what I'm doing. But these colours are beautiful, and I thought, again, this is like Australian, but really local to me. They're down in Gippsland, which is just a couple of hours down the road from me. Yeah, I put my order in for these, and then they arrived, and I was like, oh, now I have to start it, which I was always going to, because obviously I bought all the threads, and I do have a bag that's got all the extra ones in it, because some of them call for more than one skein. So but yes, I'm really excited to get this one done. I'm not putting a time limit on this one. It'll get done when it gets done. But I'm actually finding that this 28 even weave, and the colour, it's really quite, it's not that hard to stitch on. So that could be something that, you know, I could take with me somewhere and do outside of the house, because at the moment I really only take anything that's on Ada outside of the house to stitch on, because I can't see it otherwise. But this is my current, anytime I leave the house that I'm going to be gone and just sitting somewhere for a few hours. This is my current one that goes with me. It's in this project bag that I made. I think, did I mention, I can't remember, Elizabeth Ann can sew. That's where I got the pattern for these. I can't remember if I mentioned that in the previous bit, but the video did stop, so I'm doing it again, so I don't know whether I've mentioned it. So Elizabeth Ann can stitch, brilliant tutorial. So that's where I got the instructions for that. So this is this is still on the nerd hoop, because I was actually stitching on this all day yesterday at the netball. So we go to the netball on Saturday during winter. My daughter coaches an under 11 team, and they start at 8:30. Oh, we have to be there at 8:30. They start playing at 9. We usually, and then she plays at 1. And then there's another couple of games after that, and we stay till the end of all of the netball. We don't stay to watch all of the football, but we do stay to watch all of the netball. And so we don't usually leave until about 4:30, 5 o'clock. So it's a long day, and that's fine. I don't have a problem with that either, because it means I can sit in the car and cross stitch all day on Grow Your Garden. I am absolutely loving this one. It is, it's got all the things I love. It's got plants, it's got colour, it's got a gonk. I've got a couple of gonks in the, are they gonks or gnomes? I don't know. But I've got a couple of gonks in my garden. I did have to redo the Your Garden this morning. I did it last night and I did it just a line up too high. So I pulled it all out and dropped it down because once it was seen, it couldn't be unseen. So I've just started on the border. I've got some more stuff to do at the top, a few flowers down the bottom, but this one will be done so quickly. And that's the needle minder. When I bought the kit, I did ask for the needle minder to be included. And then there's the beautiful threads on the lovely drop that came with the kit. And I also, this is my these are my scissors and my scissor fob, and that was again another one of the key rings from Kmart that was on sale. And the reason that I have such a large scissor fob on this one is because if I drop the scissors in the car, it's really easy to find them with that on it, rather than trying to find the scissors in the car without anything on them. So that's really actually quite handy. So this is the last of the project bag WIPs, because the other ones I'm not actually actively working on, but I'm calling them WIPs because they are. So this is the very first project bag that I made, and perhaps I didn't say anything, like it's got a hole in it, because I think I might have talked about it when I got to this one in the last filming as well. But anyway, this is the very first one that I did. I made a grime guard to go with it as well, but you know, even though it was the very first one I did, I'm still really quite happy with it. And yes, it might have a hole in it, but it doesn't actually affect the bag, and I'm more than happy to use it. So this is, and I can pop up the finished one of this. This is another cell from Spruce. So this is the Colourpop stitch along. The last piece, I think it's maybe in here and down here, was released on the weekend. Sorry, it was released on Friday. So I'm going to grab this one out. This is going to be my take everywhere once I've finished the Grow Your Garden, but also the Vuelta is about to start. And I did do the Tour de France challenge, where for however many kilometres they ride each day, that's how many stitches you do. I tended to do day one stitches on day two, so that I was always sort of like a day behind, but I did do every day of the Tour de France. So this will be my Vuelta challenge until it's finished, and then I'll pick something else. But this is how I used to just faff about with my threads, just stick them in a Ziploc, which is fine. And I'm not putting, the only reason I'm not putting those on floss drops, pardon me, is that I've only got about like 3 or 4 colours that need to come out. So after that, they're going to go into my stash as either extras, or they'll go on bobbins if I don't already have them on bobbins. The next couple that I've got, this was a kit again from Spruce. This one is called Valentino. It's a lovely pattern. It's the first one that I got on 18 count, and I thought I was crazy at the time, but I was also probably not helping myself because I was doing it in a not properly lighted room. I was doing all the things wrong. Everything, if there was something I was doing wrong, if there was something to be done wrong, I was probably doing it wrong. So this is how far I've got. Not very. This is on hold at the moment, and that is fine, because I will get back to it, because it's 18 count. I was crazy. I thought 18 count would be too hard. It's really not. It's not. If I can do 28 count, I can do 18 So that's another one. That one will get probably, that'll get started probably when I get through all the stitch alongs, but I think I probably want to do this one before that one starts as well. I do like this one. And again, I've got all of my threads in a really handy little, you know, Ziploc bag. I've got the highlighter because I was doing it on a bit of paper, but I have got it on markup RXP now. So I'll be able to use that. And again, this will probably come out once the sales are done before the Valentino, because I really do like this. And again, it's just simple circles. That's part of the tree. So it's just simple circles and lines. And it's, don't get me wrong, I have had to frog some of it because I'd put a circle in the wrong place, but you can do a couple of circles in a night and you feel like you've really achieved something. So that will come back out, and that's just I think I bought this as a kit, and I think it's 14 count Ada. Again, I don't have a project card for this one because I'm not actively working on it, but I am looking forward to getting that out. And I know people say, oh, you know, I don't want too many. I really don't want too many WIPs because it would make my head hurt a lot. And I feel like I've got plenty now, kitted up and all of those things to just keep going with what I've got. So I feel like I'm probably going to be a little bit one finish, one start. I can't promise that that's going to be the way I go on, but that's how I'd like to start. Okay, so here I am again. You'll notice I'm wearing something different. I had some issues with the camera. Didn't record the last little bit, and when I was editing it, I realised it just stopped randomly. So I'm just going to try, fingers crossed, and get these last little bits done, and then I can edit and upload. Yay! So the last one that I'm doing, that I have, is a Tam Stitch Designs. It's called Flower Village 3. I'm actually doing this on 28 count even weave, and I've been stitching it 2/1, and I think I should have been stitching perhaps 1/1 or 2/2, but I think I quite like how it's going. So I had stopped doing it because I wasn't quite sure, but I think I'm going to keep going 2/1. It looks okay. It looks really good. So I'm going to do that. And then this is the, these are the colours. Just beautiful colours. So favourite. So I am going to crack on with this. I will probably wait until I have got one finished, which will probably be today, because I am nearly finished my Grow Your Garden. So I'm a bit excited about that. Okay, and now I'm going to move on to the embroidery. All right, so the first embroidery that I have got is, it's called Native. I also got this from Kmart, so the Enco brand. I'm doing this for Elizabeth. I've been doing it for quite a while. I have done a fair amount of it, but I think I got satin stitched out on this one again. I'm not a fan, but it will get finished and Elizabeth will get it. I don't know when, but she will get it. The next one that I have is, it's a Clever Poppy embroidery kit. So again, came with all of the things. The instructions though were are online, so there's no printout, and that's fine. So I'll have to put up a photo because I don't know what the name of this one is. It's something butterfly. And again, I've done not a lot. I've done the outline, I've done a bit of the body, and the antennae, and I've just got to do the insides, and really it won't take that long to finish, and I don't know why I haven't been doing them. I think it's probably because I've just been enjoying the cross stitch too much. So this one will get finished. This one's for Emma, and the butterfly needle minder also came from Clever Poppy, and I did purchase that with this kit as an add-on sort of a thing. The last WIP, yay, finally made it. It's taken me over 2 days. The last WIP that I've got is called Lunar Wildflowers, and that one has come from Stitched Up Kits, which is another great Australian company. I've got quite a few of theirs, and this one is, it's black, but I feel like this black's okay because it's printed on the fabric, so I know exactly where I'm going and what I need to do. And the colours for this one are really lovely, so really nice and bright, and some beautiful colours, and I love the contrast. And pardon me, my husband really likes this one as well, so I feel like that one's going to go up in our bedroom. So that is the last of the embroidery WIPs.